So today I'm making another custom shadow box in the wood shop on Dad It Yourself. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. So today's woodworking project, I'm going to be building a custom shadow box for a chief electrician's mate that's retiring from the Navy. And his request is he wants his shadow box to look like an actual circuit breaker box from a Navy ship. I got a picture of it right here. Look right there. And so I'm going to make it out of red oak and then use a pickled gray finish to give it the haze gray look. I ordered all the hardware from the actual machining shop in Norfolk, Virginia, who makes all the brass fittings for these boxes. And I got my cut list right here. Tells me what I need. And then I've got some 4S red oak right here from the big box store. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that to rough lengths, rip it to width, and then cut it down and hopefully get it into glue tonight. Alright, so I have my fence set to 4 inches and my blade raised just proud of the thickness of the material. Let's rip these boards to 4 inches. I'm ripping them all at the same time to ensure that they're all exactly the same width. Alright, I'm back over here at the miter saw. Got all my pieces rough cut to length and ripped to width, and I'm going to cut the miters on the ends of each of those and get those ready for glue up. So I got my router table set up with this 1/8 inch roundover bit. I could have easily have done this with a trim router, but the router table has better dust collection and it's easier to get to right now. I already have another bit set up in the trim router for another job later, so we're using this. So I'm going to give the insides a quick sand with 120 grit. Even though most of the inside won't be seen, it'll be nice to get the edges a little bit cleaned up and the parts that are going to be visible nice and smooth. It'll be easier to sand like this than once the box is sanded. So the next step is I'm going to glue this into a box. Titebond 3 in here, silicone brush, and 2 sets of strap clamps for the bottom and the top of the box. And this is the main carcass. This will be a quarter of the way done. Alright, let's glue it up. Check it for square. 31, 32 and an 1/8. 32 and an 1/8. Wow. Down nice and snug. Square. Let's let it dry. So the next step, I have to round these corners over into a nice full nose and then sand the whole thing, and we're going to do a pre-stain on it. I'm going to do that with the belt sander. Okay, time to stain this thing. I'm using Varathane 1 hour weathered gray, and this is to simulate that this has been painted battleship gray or Navy ship gray. This Shadowbox simulates a metal circuit breaker box on the ship, so I'm trying to make it look like it's made of metal, but at the same time so you can see the wood grain through. So the stain came out really nice. It's actually the tone and depth that I wanted for it. You can see a little bit of the oak through it, but in the grain, but it gives it that gray hue. So next I have these ash strips, and what these are going to work as is the door stop for the door or the lid that closes on this, and provide a stop on the back to mount the back panel to, and there'll be a piece that'll act as a cross member for the American flag that's going to be in the upper left hand corner of the display portion of this case. I'm going to start with the miter saw. So I have those side pieces dry fit in here. They're nice and tight, as you can see. There's no glue or anything holding these in. And to get a better idea of how this top shelf here will provide a stop for the door, which will sit down like that, and then this pseudo rabbit down here will actually provide a spot for the back panel to come on. And then I have this piece here which will go across this corner like this and provide the pocket for the national flag to go right there. So my next step now is I have to rip a small strip off of each of these, and then the glass panel will sandwich between the bottom half of this and the top half of this. So those cuts went really well. I'm going to give these a light sanding and then stain them a dark oak or walnut probably, and then we'll get those glued in there and move on to the next step. Using Varathane red mahogany stain, and we'll just spread that mostly on the insides, a little bit of the ends and the tops, but everything else won't be visible. So the pieces are all stained, and now it's just a matter of gluing them into their position on the interior using Type On 3 in my Glue-Bot bottle. So let's do that. Now that this is all put together, I'm going to give the carcass a coat of Deft Clear Wood Finish Gloss. Love this stuff. Okay, here's the next step, working on the muntins. Got this test piece of plexi I'm using for fitment to kind of demonstrate, but that'll go in here, and then the muntins will go on top. like this. This one will go in here. And then these will be countersunk and drilled with brass screws to hold this in and the plexi in, and then that will actually act as the door stop for the front lid. Okay, so today's goal is to do the back panel and then glue up the front door. I use these 2x4 project panels from the Home Depot. This one happens to be 24 1/4 inches. This is an 18 by 24, same size as the front panel. So I'll have to trim this down a little bit. Let's get started with that. Got these little picture hanger brackets right here, and I'm going to put them on the back on a 16-inch center because this box is heavy and I want to make sure it's on the studs when it's hung on the wall. Put that in there. So this is dimensional lumber from the Home Depot, 3/4 by 6, so 5.5 inches. I've cut 3 to 26 inches in length, but I don't have a jointer. So to get these edges as smooth as I can so I can biscuit join these and make a glue up, I'm gonna have to run those through my planer in the vertical position. If you're not comfortable doing this, don't do it. I'm pretty comfortable. I'm only going to do a couple of really small runs just to clean this edge up a little bit and get these a little bit even. So let's get started with that. Maybe a little hard to see, but I have little reference marks matching up the boards on where I have to cut the biscuits in. It's just a matter of lining up the center. Right there. Power. So now I'm going to glue these together, tight bond 3, and some biscuits. Let's go. Off camera, I took the panel out of the clamps. Came out really nice. Have a little bit of a ridge here and here, and then right about here on this side. This side is nice. Gonna give this a little love with the belt sander and the orbital sander to get it nice and smooth, and then we'll size it on the table saw and get it ready for stain. So I'm going to square off the end of this with my poor man's track saw. Here we go. Hey, after a little bit of finagling and adjusting with the belt sander, got this in there, fits really nice. Got my gaps all the way around. Just need to do a round over on this top and it will be ready for stain. So I built this handy little guide real quick, and this will give me the offset for the router. I'll go ahead and hog out the outside and then start in the middle and work my way out to that cut. There's not enough area for me to start just around and go. So here we go. So I finished cutting the inset. That took a little bit longer. It was a little bit harder. Had a bit failure on my palm router. The collet went bad and ended up digging this deeper than I wanted it to be. And it actually dug up this side, so I had to make it a little wider than I wanted it to be. But it looks really good. The plate's going to go in here. I'm going to stain this whole thing with the gray stain and then come back and mask it off and spray paint the inside of this with a glossy black. There are two hinges on this. They're both continuous hinges. This is a 3/4 and this is a 1/2 inch. The 1/2 inch one goes for the door on the front face, and this is the main hinge. And what I have to do is just measure it to width. And there. Actually, let's check that again. I'm gonna go center.
Yeah.
And then this one I'll cut when I have the door manufactured and I measure it to size. Place the piano hinge on the side of the door. I'm using some of these thumbtacks and blue tape to hold it in place while I get the hole started. I'm using this self-centering bit right here. Start a first couple of holes till I can get some screws in, and then I'll finish the holes off. So I got these brass fittings from a company in Norfolk, Virginia, and these are the actual switches that go on the circuit breaker box on a Navy ship. They were cast for me custom, and they just need to be polished up. I'll use this right here. Oh man, this thing is really coming together nice. Got the hinges all installed, doors work nice. Look at that. Look at that. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So time to put in all the little switch handles. These are going to be friction fit in because I have a feeling people are going to want to spin them and stuff. The only one, this one here, will actually be glued in with 5-minute epoxy just because it's a pull handle. Okay. Now, time for the black. There she is with all the bright work on her. Got a couple more plaques that are going to go on here, but I'll track those down when I'm doing the innards. That thing came out swell.
Oh, damn! Woohoo! Yeah, that looks for real like the ones on the ship. Oh my god, you outdid yourself on this.
Those are the actual bright work from the ship.
No kidding?
Yeah, each of the labels are all your commands in order from your boot camp company. The knobs do move,
That is
because I figured people would want to twist them.
Yeah, that is hella sweet. That's a beauty. I like this color too.
Is it ready?
Oh, dang! Oh, snap! Oh, that is. Woo!
That's awesome.
Oh my God, that is amazing.
Ready?
Oh, wow! Oh my God, that's a beauty, bro. That's oh God, man, yeah. I love the color too. That's.
It's kind of it's a weathered, it gives it that haze gray feeling.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It's heavy.
Yeah, I can see it. Oh, wow, I'm just finding it. This takes like. Woo! Wow. Dude, so much, man. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I knew you'd like it.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, I'm actually blown up.
Give me a thumbs up to the camera. All right.
Happy customer.
So this project had very specific requirements, and as you saw, I met my customer's expectations. I'm glad he's happy. A shadow box is just a box made out of wood, but the items in it signify the memories of a career well served. Congratulations, Shipmate. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, put those down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you do, hit that bell for notifications. I've got some videos over here you may be interested in, and subscribe button's right over here. Thanks for watching. Data yourself.